I used to travel in taxis in London. Well, I still do, but initially they were asking me, how did I get like it? I wouldn't sort of say the word blind. And when I told them how I did lose my sight, they said, you should write a book. And because my grandchildren are growing up, and I thought I'd like to write it for them, so that's why I wrote it really. But to educate people, because 100 people go blind every day in this country, and a lot of those people haven't got a clue about blindness or whether you can do anything. And when I went totally blind, I didn't think I'd be able to do half the things that I do now. And by writing my book, hopefully, it will inspire people that are losing their sight to carry on living their lives. Okay, it will be different, but in the book, you know, I've been able to say different ways that they can do things and the help that is available for people.
It's interesting, right at the beginning there, you talked about being a taxi and people not being able to use the word blind. Is there still a sort of
oh yes, still people say, how did you get like it? And because people haven't grown up with blind people, and this is why we do have the attitude that there is still in this day and age to blindness, because unless you've met somebody who's blind, I mean, people will still talk to who is with me and not directly to me. They will say, you know, does she take sugar? And this is really true, and people will talk to my dog and not to me. And although we can laugh about it, it's quite hurtful really, you know, and you're sitting in a train and I don't know what everybody else is doing in the carriage, and I'll get in the train or onto a bus and nobody will say, oh, there's a seat here for you. And just simple things, and this is what I've put in the book, trying to educate people. And I was talking to a doctor the other day who'd read the book, and he said he'd learnt so much from reading my book. He said every GP in the country should read this book because he'd learnt so much. And because the numbers of people losing their sight are going up, diabetes is the biggest cause now of blindness, and when you think about 100 people every day, you know, losing their sight, there's an awful lot of families that are going to be shocked by that and not knowing how to cope really, and how to, you know, to let blind people know that there is help available, not as much as there should be. Rehabilitation services are appalling, but just the everyday things of being able to read your post. I mean, I have to depend on so many volunteers, you know, to help me to read, like all the Christmas cards are coming at the moment, and those my husband's got a little bit of vision because he's had cornea grafts, so he can see a bit now. He can't see to read the Christmas cards that are coming because most of them are handwritten. So I've got to wait for people, friends, to come in and read them for me. And it's those things that are still frustrating. So however independent I am and I get about and I travel about, it's those sort of everyday things that you people with sight take for granted.
You mentioned your dog. Your dog is resting at the moment. How much of a help is your dog?
Oh well, without my guide dog, I just wouldn't go out and about at all. In fact, for the last 2 weeks, I haven't been out and about because of the bad weather. You know, it's something that we as guide dog owners really have to accept when the weather's as bad as it's been in the last week. And of course, the councils never ever grip the pavements. This is what I've been complaining about this week, because you know, they will clear the main roads, but they don't think of those of us that are elderly or housebound or disabled. You can't get out when it's icy and snowy. And for the first time ever, I mean, I've been totally blind now for 47 years, and only last week did a neighbour who I didn't know, he knocked on my door and he said, oh, I'm just going to the shops, would you like some shopping? I said, oh no, my husband's been able to get it, but what it would be helpful if you could clear my footpath for me. He was so thrilled to do it, and yet that, I'll say, the first time ever that one of the neighbours had actually offered to do that for me, which was really kind and helpful. And if every neighbour did that, you know, we'd have a better world for people.
You are Jill Allen King, MBE. That must have been a thrilling day for you.
Yes, that was 27 years ago now, and yes, it was lovely. And I mean, you know, it wasn't just for me; it was for all the people that helped me. Because without all the, I mean, one lady, Maura, that helps me, she's been coming to me every week for 26 years, just to do those things like that I can't do, like writing birthday cards, writing Christmas cards, filling forms in, all the sorts of things that, you know, you do need sighted help with, telling me different colours, because you know, I have different colour shaped buttons to sew on clothes to let you know what different colours are, and she does that for me. And she used to help me like with my garden. She can't now because she's 83. And another neighbour, she used to come over every night to read my post for me. But she's 89, she's been 90 in January. And in fact what we do now, we take her dinner over to her every day. And we've done that for 6 years. So, you know, we do try and help other people as well as, you know, other people helping us.
Thank you, Jill.